The Maluka name came about because we're looking at Aboriginal names because we just wanted to sort of look outside the square and see what we could come up with, and Maluka sounded like a nice name. It meant the boss, and then my mum actually said that's also Mags Luke Anderson in Maluka, the letters. It just meant a whole lot more then, so it was just a great fit. So I did a diploma in horse studies breeding, got the scholarship to go to New Zealand, to Cambridge Stud. I was meant to spend 3 months there and I ended up spending 3 years at Cambridge. The scholarship there was set around yearling preparation and that's what really interests me. That's when I met my immediate boss, Mags.
When I was at university, I went down to Windsor Park in Cambridge to do my first yearling prep and could not believe I was going to get paid to do it. I said to Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be working with the thoroughbreds, and he said, you get a full-time job and you can do what you want. So I did. We
got married and had a couple of kids. And I was in New Zealand all up for about 13, there for 13 years.
My mum was killed in a car accident and that's why we came to Australia, because I didn't want to be in New Zealand anymore. My dad was in the accident too, and he survived another 18 months, but complications from the accident took him as well. And I just said to Luke, let's just go. It wasn't easy at first. We got the website going and got everything up and running and opened our doors, and there was no phone calls. Then Trent Busserton rang and said, can you guys rehab our rocker? We were leaping around for joy with the horse that came. I mean, I'd been sitting on the kitchen floor saying to Luke, we've got to go back to New Zealand, it's not going to work, it's really bad. And then Brian Gorman rang me from Sweddenham and said, hey, we've got a client that wants some yearlings prep, can you guys do them? And it was just like, wow, yeah, we can. So we did, and then I think the first prep we had 2 fillies and 9 colts.
Everything was trucking along nicely. We moved to this property here in Avenel, and beautiful property in a great location, close proximity to the major studs in Victoria. The property itself's just under 150 acres. Numbers for broodmare side were increasing as we were growing the business, and we had really good numbers for the yearling prep. And just about to start it, and I had a heart attack and was in hospital up until I got out Christmas Eve, and that just turned our world upside down, and we had to adjust and regroup and press on.
I was just like sort of went into a bit of a freaked out, because here I am with, how many yearlings did we have that year?
Yeah, almost 30.
I just went on to automatic pilot, I think, and just thought, well, I've got to get the job done. All of our clients, I have to say, were just outstanding. They were all just fantastic, and all everyone wanted to know was, how was Luke? I personally was getting a lot of texts and calls saying, if you need a hand, give me a call. Like, it was just like, to think that you could do that makes you sort of feel that it's going to be good in the end.
So we've got a big draft this year for the Melbourne Premier Sales. There's 37, and they've come from all over the place. We've got horses that are over from New Zealand, and we've also got horses from Western Australia coming down from the Hunter, and the locally bred ones. Really happy with the way that they've come along. They're a lovely bunch, really good strong pedigrees. Really looking forward to seeing how they're going to be received down there.
So for example, we've got a belting 2-darn hot colt. He's a dark, big, strong boy, and he rates himself quite highly, that colt, but he has every right to be, because once everyone sees him, they'll see he's just got that much presence. Strong, big, forward, just a really, really nice colt. Beautiful mover, beautiful galloper in the paddock. We have a really nice Shamus Award colt out of a New Zealand bred mare. When he was younger, as a weanling, ripping around the paddock with a bunch of other colts, he really took your eye. Like, he was one of those that you just watch him. He's just a really good type, and he's got the strength. We have a really nice Tornado filly that came over from Perth. She's closely related to Laced Up Heels. She reminds me of those big Zabeel fillies to lead, even though she's not like that. She's just got that same attitude, that work ethic, and she's just got the big stride and like, where are we going and what are we doing next? She's a ripping filly, and I'm sure that they will be well received. Yeah.
The satisfaction that you get from our perspective as a vendor selling horses is when they go into racetrack success is basically what it's all about for us, because what it does is what we're doing from our perspective is right, and we're providing a product for trainers to get the best out of the horses. You know, when you look at the likes of Gytrash winning a Lightning Stakes and performing so well at the top level, and the ride that he's taken people on, because he was only a $40,000 Premier purchase. Seabrook was from that same draft. You know, she was an $80,000 purchase, did such great things on the racetrack. She was placed in 1,000 guineas. The pride that we get and the enjoyment seeing them perform, you know, just makes it all those nights of being out in the freezing cold in a foaling paddock or getting up every day and doing yearling preps, it really makes us want to do it again.
My favourite part of the whole year-long horse work is yearling prep, hands down, always has been. I don't get sick of it. I don't want it to ever stop.